folks, and it's been a while since I've put a video up, but I've had another arrival. This one it's going to be on the other side of that. So here we go. This is another Soviet watch that was exported to Britain. Look at that. Isn't that a beauty? It didn't come in on this bracelet, but it came in on as one of those expanding ones, but it was a bit too small. But this is, you can just about make it like right in the middle of, just above the spring bar. Right, you can see where it says AU10. I mean, it's 10 microns thick, gold plated. It is beautiful. I mean, it's a fingerprint magnet for sure. And this is based on a Rakita, which is, I mean, this is like my first proper Rakita I've got actually. But as you can see, it's a Sekonda. Day, it doesn't like have a pusher like my other watches do. They have the day, which is a bit of a nose. So I mean, I haven't put it right because when I've finished like this video and that, this one's been put away next door to my what's it, AU10 never been worn ruler, men's ruler. So I mean, this is a keeper. It's beautiful dress watch for sure. Alright, and on the wrist, I mean, you know, look at that. That is just 100% bling. Alright, isn't it? It's beautiful. So, get in focus, you git. Oh, and what else turned up, which I've got to do a small remedy on. Look at this. This is a Vostok Olympic Athletes Team watch. You can also see the fact that the second hand is stuck, has come off of it in transit. Alright, and if you look on the back, you can see the Moscow 80 Olympic. And like this was come about. This was the Olympics that the West boycotted, like over Afghanistan. Right, it's got a very unusual 18mm lugged case. It's kept very good time. The only nose being is the fact that the second hand is kind of stuck up there, so I've got to drop the movement out, like, and not just reattach the second hand. So that's no biggie. And now this one. This is the Zakaz MO CCCP Commandersky. It's had its new mainspring put in, and it's still on that initial wind. It's 26 hours so far. Now the next job is I don't know if you can see, like, underneath the crown there's like supposed to be a thread, but the thread's been worn off on this one. So I've got to somehow get that thread tube out. I think people are saying it's held in by heat. And then just put in a spare one. So I've got a box full of cases of these things, but this is like what I call the rounded square case, and it's very unusual. And being a Zakaz MO as well, which you can see just between the 7 and the 5 numerals, it will say Zakaz MOCCCP, like in Russian of course. And I've got a new set of hands for it, so they'll be going on, like, and I've just got to do a little bit about that fading at the top there, because like somebody was suggesting that I, you know, water down some Sharpie ink and just kind of wash the edges. So I'm going to see where that goes. But this is a very old Vostok Commandersky, like, because all the ones later on had like created in CCCP, or you know, or created in Russia. You know, these Zakaz ones were owned. This was sold in an exclusive store only for the Russian military. So somebody service wide had it. It's got the Razor Sunshine case back on it. You know, it's like a big eye looking at things, isn't it? Like, you know. I mean, you know, unlike a lot of these older ones, like there's a little bit of sweat rash there. What happens is, like salting your sweat, it gets in through imperfections in the chrome plating, and it starts eating away at the brass that's underneath. Right, so there's a little bit, but I mean, you know, this is what, late 70s, early 80s watch. I mean, you know, this watch is probably older than some of you people watching, like, you know, it's still going strong. Anyway, we'll go back up to the up view and we'll talk some more about that. So, there you have it. You know, I went to bed early last night, so, like, you know, I was just so worn out with all this heat. Like, this heat is absolutely destroying me, like, you know. I mean, you know, that just really is like very ostentatious. You know, it does look very, very smart. You know, it's just showing I scratched the bracelet on the end links there with the Dremel tool, just a touch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look see if I can get a gold chrome paint pen and just, you know, tidy up, like, you know, because this is rolled gold, like, you know. I mean, I should imagine that this, like, altogether is probably worth quite a bit now. I mean, look at that, it's immaculate. You know, it really is just absolutely immaculate. Keeps good time, like, you know. I mean, it's just had no wear, so I'm not going to complain. Like, I paid £15 delivered for this. You know, and I've got out of it a 9K expanding bracelet, like, you know, which has gone on something else, like, so I'm quite happy. You know, so I'm hoping that you'll find it. This is finding you all well, like, you know. I mean, everything's a much of a muchness. The lockdown doesn't seem to be doing much. Like, it's changing, not changing. You know, I mean, people are just being very stupid, like jumping off Durdle Door. I mean, just look at it. This right, the Durdle Door thing, right. These are supposed to be intelligent creatures, these human beings. Like, they've got their smartphones, they've got internet on their computers and stuff like that. You would have thought that somebody with half a brain cell would have looked at their phone and said, oh, hey, the tide is out at the moment. I will not jump into the water until the tides come in. And they just get on top of this bloody giant rock megalith thing, like, you know, and just jump into like, you know, the shallow water. Well, you know, and then it's a crisis because they've got to get air ambulances and stuff like that. It's bloody stupid. And this is like, you know, and like the poor bloke who owns the actual structure, like, you know, he says he's put fencing up, he's put people up there, security up there and stuff like that. People don't give a damn, like, you know, it's not their land. They just go on it, and because they can go tombstoning, because, you know, to like, take away people's rights to do things is just not on. So. He looks like old, old Trump's probably blown out the water anyway, like, it looks like he's tombstoned. You know, he's talking about sending the military in against the American people, and that'd be civil war, like, you know. So, see you, America, it was nice knowing you, like, because I think you're all in a bit of trouble, mate, you know, because, you know, the people have just had enough of being bullied, not only that, but taxed heavily to pay for the privilege to having your head kicked in and your head blown off by some out of control old Bill, like, who think, you know, who's protected the moment he steps out of his house, like, you know, with this thing called qualified immunity, which means basically they can do what they want to whoever they want and get away with it, and that is including killing people, because, you know, black lives do not matter over there. You know, like, I mean, this is like, you know, why, like, Trump, like, held back on like doing the coronavirus thing. Well, you know, and I've suspected they've done it over here in the UK, just to weed out the elements that they don't want. You know, all it took them was a couple of days extra, like, you know, and the virus ravaged through the poor areas because people didn't social distance, they didn't watch the news because they didn't have a telly and stuff like that, you know. So, you know, or like other people who are just working all the time just to like make ends meet sort of thing. Like, they ain't got time to sit there and watch the news. You know, they're coming from work, have a bite to eat, and they go to bed. Like, you know, to be up early for the next 12-hour days, like long shifts and stuff like that. And they've got kids and things like that, you know. They ain't got time to piss around with coronavirus. Well, you know, and that's how many people died because of it. So there's my thoughts on it all. Like, it's like everything's like, you know, Shana's got a shift with the local factory at some point this week. You know, there's nothing else really going on. Like, you know, I mean, I still ain't done the Reliant because I still haven't run it down enough so I can take this pipe off safely without, like, you know, losing like what's it, half a gallon of bloody fuel. Well, you know, I mean, I know it's cheap, but it's not that cheap. But I've got the parts to replace it. I'm doing, you know, a full right, you know, I've put the stop leak in, and that's thing, and the engine is beautiful now. Right, so I'm going to do is I'm going to take half the oil out. I'm not going to do a full oil change. I'm going to take half the oil out and then fill it up with that Morris's golden film. Right, you know, because the oil in it has not done, I mean, you know, hasn't done like 1,000 miles, right? You know, so there's no point in, like, you know, and it's not, it's like, you know, getting dark, but it's not, you know, black. There's no grit in it or anything like that. There's no grit in it. It doesn't stink of fuel or anything. So, you know, it's good enough for the time being. But I'm going to drop out half of it, and I could just use that as waste oil for cleaning and stuff like that, or like, you know, undercoating. And I'll put the Morris stuff to fill it up in, and hopefully then I won't lose any of the stop leak I've put in, which I mean, you know, I think it's got a weeping sump gasket. It's just a tiny weep, but it's just enough to that over time it will just wear off, like, you know, it'll go down. So hope this finds you all well, like, you know, hope you've not been licking people's armpits, like I mean, you know, like licking in between people's toes, that could be a dodgy thing. You might get COVID-19 out of that, or, you know, I mean, there are some people I'd say I wouldn't put my nose near anybody's feet, like, you know, I can't stand feet, it's like teeth and feet, ooh, oh, you know. So I've still got a volcano to come, which is basically, it's a round pole jump sort of, it's basically, it looks like half a tennis ball with a dial in it, like, you know, but they call it volcanoes. I've got another Oscar mill coming, where I've got the Series 3000 here. This is Series 800. I think bits and pieces. I've got quite a few things. I've got the Saxon calculator watch turned up. I'm just waiting for the batteries to turn up for that, and I'll do a video on that, which is a 1980s calculator watch, like, you know, in its original box. That's brilliant. It's not brand new. It's still got a plastic film over the dial, like, you know. There's a couple of other bits and pieces, like, you know, in the post. For my radio room build, I've bought a 2409 movement, brand new from Russia, like, and then I can start putting that together, and that will be my, like, you know, that will be, because that's going into, where is it? Not that one. That one. That's going into that case, which is a 22mm lugged 090. Right, you know, that is going to be a huge piece of architecture on your wrist, sort of thing, like, you know. I don't know if right, you know, you can see that. I mean, that's bordering on covering the whole wrist. But that's going to be that's basically, I'm going to video it. It's a build for brand new parts. Everything off the shelf, brand new parts. It's going to be movement off the shelf, case off the shelf, hands from Commandersky.com, all the rest. I mean, the crystal, the gilt crystals from Commandersky. I mean, there's nothing that's been in a watch, if you know what I mean. It's all off the shelf parts, it is. And the dial, of course, like, you know, which comes from Marinome. So I will leave you with that, and I will catch you in the next one. Toodle Pipski.